Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Motorsport Manager. Thetimix here, and it's time for a new challenge, as we are, mentioned this last time, at the halfway point of the challenges in terms of the number of challenges to go. And actually, of the 6 remaining, we've got 2 single race ones, one that's about half a season, one that's most of a season. There's only 2 full season ones left. So the length of the challenges will mostly not be that severe. The difficulty will be more significant. 4 of them have a hard rating, including the one after this one. But we got a couple more mediums, including the one we're going to be doing here. This is Surging Absurdity. While energy recovery systems have proven to add suspense to the IGTC, Ernie, that being Ernie Hecklerock, the commissioner or chairman or whatever, wanted to take it one step further. Now every car's harvest efficiency dynamically changes to match their current position in the race. The car in first place receives 0% or no harvest efficiency, while the bottom car gains a whopping 200%, double the normal. Can Wolfhagen rise to the challenge? Now we're going back to the GT series here, away from the single-seaters and open wheel racing. We need to win the team's championship with Wolfhagen. Our reward, if we do so, or when we do so, will be a new GT livery. We get some art. We can't leave the team, and it's a 12-race deal. And here gives us a bit of little bit more information that the standings-based batteries, and there's a qualifying grid with 3 sessions. So long qualifying again, and we'll get into that, the rules in detail once we get into here. But this is basically a gimmick piled on top of a gimmick. The ERS is a gimmick, and then we've got this. It should lend its way to more, close races, more changes up and down the field, as the weaker cars are equalized, given a boost compared to the stronger cars. But after having looked at it, the rules and everything in detail, I think that there's a good approach to trying to win this. Not all that different from what we did in the last series. Basically, basing our strategy on light fuel. But we'll get to that in a bit. So here we are, Wolfhagen. I rather like the design and colors and everything. We have the young Mia Holgersson as one of our drivers. Good but not great for both of our drivers. And then we have the aging Will Baggs as our other driver. Now notably, we have less feedback ratings, just average for Mia Holgersson, and less overall. These drivers are not quite as good. They're high 3 instead of low 4 stars compared to Harrison and Diaz from our last challenge. Baggs has fitness issues. Holgersson has feedback issues. So it'll be a little bit of a challenge there. We can see overall we have the 3rd best car, so we're in a not that far from the top. So we're in a strong position, but not a great position. Our drivers are also considered to be 3rd. And 3rd in the HQ, and 3rd in staff. So we're near the top in these. We just need that strategy to put us over the top. Is the way it looks to begin with. And who are we? We are Walter Hoffman, an ex-engineer. So the chairman's pretty happy with us. So we've got the weight stripping. We've seen that before. 3-stage qualifying. We've seen that before. And the standing-based batteries. And this basically says the same thing that we've already been told. Changes the harvest mode in real time based off the current standings. The worse your driver is doing, the faster their battery will harvest energy. The better your driver is doing, the slower their battery will charge. No harvesting ability first place. Driver in last place receives 200%. All drivers in between will scale their harvest efficiency depending on the current standings. Okay, let's take a look at our car. So we've seen that we're 3rd overall. We have the 3rd best engine. We do have the top gearbox, so we will be better coming out of the turns accelerating than anybody else, and of course that should also help us to accelerate off the starting line. Our brakes, not great. They're fourth and not a whole lot above average. Our suspension is third, and it's good but not great, you know, a decent amount below the top cars. Our spoiler is fourth, right down there with the brakes. So clearly the brakes and the spoiler are the ones that need the most help. We're competitive with the top cars on everything else. And our HQ, we're building a staff center, which is interesting. They have us started by building one. Right here it is. Helps your lead designer and race mechanics to improve their skills. It also allows drivers to better fit their fitness and focus. Not what I would choose to win a single season. This is more of a long-term, let's develop our people deal. But I want to try this just leaving that alone, because I don't think I can change it anyway. I don't think I can cancel the construction. Maybe I can. Maybe there's a way for me to do that. I don't see one immediately. And let's just leave it at there. So we do have great brake development potential and great gearbox development potential. We're good on the engine, the spoiler, and the suspension. So the brakes and the gearbox, we could potentially improve the most. Already doing excellent on the gearbox. So this sort of argues in favor of going brakes first. If you look, we've got a solid amount of money, 5.6 million. So we, unlike the last one, we do have some to work with. You see our chassis here, we could have seen this elsewhere, but is pretty, you know, average at best, it looks like. If we look around, you know, at some of the others, we're better than Vittorio's. Probably a little better than Torrens. Now you see Spartan, they're 3-star across the board and better than that in fuel efficiency. So they got a better chassis than we do. Atsuno is another top competitor. Theirs is probably a little bit better. Orange is better as well. So yeah, so we seem to be middle of the pack on the chassis. Let's head back to our team, Wolfhagen Racing. Our chairman is Baum here, age 50, pretty happy with us. And you can see our reserve driver is not worth a darn thing. We do look like we have a good designer, solid mechanics, pretty good marketability. So we're going to need to spend some money, it looks like, to win this. And it looks like we can. So let's just take a look at our drivers a little more closely. Mia Holgerson, yeah, they have the feedback penalty. I don't know, just make it faster. Not too good marketability. You can see our relationship with the mechanic not really good. So we've got to hopefully get some improvement to this and see what's going to happen. Now, we got wet tire bonus that we can eventually get. And then the pit stop legend one, all pit stop times are 1 second faster. I don't usually tend to use that. But if we have wet races, it might be worth it to go with that. If we're sure it's going to be wet. And then so the young star Mia Holgerson, and then here's the veteran +2 consistency, +5 marketability for the endurance champion Will Baggs. Not very good at overtaking, although it's still 16. So, and then he's officially old. So he's a guy that, because of his old age, he's not as motivated as he used to be. Whatever. You know, at the downside of his career, this could very well be Baggs' last season. As you can see, he's had 1 win each of the last couple years. Hasn't finished on the podium a whole lot, really, in any of these seasons. We'll need to do better than that with him. But he just got a new mechanic, looks like, for him, West, and he's got a medium tire bonus and the sweetest spots qualifying deal. So he could be strong in qualifying by the end of the season if we could get that up. And then Cassiani, you know, hopefully she doesn't have to be in the race, basically. All right, let's take a look at Mitchell Abrams. So it's a little bit weak on brakes, average in the spoiler, really good at the other parts. So the parts that we're going to need are the parts that he's not the best at. So that's unfortunate. And then Atkinson is solid at reliability, only average at performance, and his pit stops aren't great either. Francis West, chemistry with the drivers is not good, which means that it's going to take a while to get that thing up with bags. But he's quality at both reliability and performance. So it looks like whichever one's most important to us, he'll be taking over there. I mean, Atkinson almost as good at reliability. So probably Atkinson reliability, and then, what's his name? West? Yeah, West in performance. If we look at our finances, we are already set on the minimum for next year's car. We're only losing $432,000 per race. So it'll go up a little bit when the staff center is completed. But take a look at our sponsors. We actually have 2 openings. So we should be able to spend some money here, for sure, because we're not going to be losing a ton each race, even without the bonuses. 16th or above doesn't give us much per race. Wonderluck, 2nd or above. And I think I probably want to go for a more middle ground at first. And then we get 200K per race from Ablar. And 300K per race from Kashima. So these are a couple of long-term, you know, moderate amount bonuses. And obviously, when Baggs retires, this team is going to be in a little bit of trouble with their marketing appeal. But it's a 3-star now. Maybe we can get it up to 4-star by the end of the year. Alright, let's take a look at our rules for the season. Medium length practice, so 15 minutes. We'll have to be more selective on what we're going for here, and probably not going to be able to max out both the race trim and the qualifying trim in most cases. Qualifying sessions, 10 minutes, so again, medium length, lower than before. And medium length races, 31 lap races. Now I'm curious how this affects reliability, because I don't know if that means like that you need less reliability for the races. Maybe we can do more weight stripping. I'll want to watch that. But generally speaking, shorter races. So we've got 3 qualifying sessions, but the fact that these sessions are all medium length is going to lower how long the videos are by contrast. Okay, fast pit lane speeds, semi-sequential pit stops, merit payments. I'm not too concerned about that. Points for the top 6 only. Double points for the final race, and we get bonus points for the fastest lap and the pole position. Okay, then we have tires. The tires are pre-distributed here. And there are 2 dry weather compounds, so there's less choices to make. The virtual safety car. There is refueling. You can only last up to 40% of the race distance Driver aids are allowed, so driver skill won't matter as much. The car will matter more. Strategy will matter more. Yeah, qualifying base grids with 3 sessions. You have to use your tires on Q2 to start the race. Hybrid power. Standings-based batteries. Now, here's the interesting part about this. All batteries start the race at 100% charge. Okay, now if you combine this, the fact that you're going to start batteries fully charged instead of the usual 10%, you combine that with the fact that we're using, the tires from qualifying, assuming that we make it to the top 10, but if we're going to win the competition, we're going to be doing that, I imagine, pretty much every race. So what that's going to allow us to do, and the approach that I'm going to take is, you're going to be on a short first stint anyway. So I should be able to start with very, very low fuel at the beginning of the race, and then spend most of that first stint running on a hybrid, using that energy. Now, at least in theory, that should make us very fast early on. So in that sense, even though we don't have the advantage of using the hybrid and the low fuel like we did in the last challenge, we still should be able to, start with a really low fuel start and get that rolling. Okay, so now what do we want to improve with the cars? We've got our first race in just over 2 weeks. Well, I do think we definitely want to try to get these weaker parts up, and we have better HQ for developing the brakes. We also have our designers better at the brakes. So the brakes, to me, are the thing that we can really boost. Now let's take a look at what we have. If we look at our current parts, good ones like the gearbox are up in the high 400s. Our max here is 325 and 331, so that's like the top of what we can currently get. And these are also by far the fastest parts. The ones we need the most are the fastest parts. And if we look at, we're not going to have them ready for the next race. Says it would be a crucial part for that. But let's take a look at Rio. Okay, the spoiler is going to be crucial there, so that's going to be a problem for us. And then, you've got brakes being useful in Sydney. They're crucial in Munich. Not so. So we're going to need both parts coming up here. Looks like maybe even looks like more stuff early on, actually, that wants the spoiler. And then brakes. Brakes just not as significant as the spoiler over the course of the season. So that's interesting. Could make an argument I should actually go with the spoiler first. So, yeah, I think I'll do that. I think I'll switch the plan, go spoiler first. Okay, so he's got -2 days for every million spent, so he can speed these up. And I don't mind doing that at first. And of course, because it's better than spending the 50K here. So this would be 307. Let me compare that after. But yeah, we're definitely going to go with this. And we can see, it's already knocking. It's knocking down, and we get -a day from the ex-engineer backstory trait. So -a day from the component choices. So this is going to be really fast. Let's go ahead and buy that. See our current spoilers. Yeah, okay, so that's already about 20 or so points improvement. And we'll be able to do even more. Now, the other thing is, going forward, Again, we want the acceleration, deceleration, gearbox, and brakes are the most important ones. But I'm going to want to go all in on reliability here. Let's go ahead and switch these around. Because basically everything here is in, looks like the 60 to 80 range. And for the amount of reliability we've needed to use up in past seasons, I'm going to want to get the crucial parts up to 90 and the other ones up to 80, if at all possible, for this first race. I think it's going to take 2 races to really get everything maxed out, and by then we'll be working on new parts as well. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on our factory early on in this season compared to the last one where we had high reliability at the start. We couldn't develop a lot of new parts. There wasn't a huge amount of work to do. The mechanics and staff here are going to be a lot more busy. So if we put brake reliability and gearbox reliability first, I want to make sure we get those up to 90. And then everything else, I want to just sort of fill in. And then performance improvement. Let's just throw in the brakes, the gearboxes, the engines, which are the other, you know, it's the top useful part on the list. And then this spoiler, as it's the weakest. And of course that's going to see almost no improvement. Most of it's going to go to the reliability here. But I want to hit that 90 and 80% threshold, so I'm going to be shifting parts in and out of here to see if we can make that happen. Alright, I think we are ready to move forward now. And speculation on Ray Roberts retiring. So yeah, we're up to 83.70. Probably got about 3 more days here. Well, there's a spoiler that's been finished. Yeah, I don't wanna fit that to the car yet. There it is. Because I just want to design a new one. Definitely don't want anything that boosts the red zone like that. I'll take the plus 30 over the plus 25. And this is locked. So I think we want to grab this, and then for our final 3, we'll want this one, and this one. Those are, I mean, these are all nice boosts. So this is going to be a much improved spoiler. Another 600K down the drain. At yeah, 85% more or less on these parts. I think about 3 more days. There we go. 87%. So it's sort of starting to spread them out more. These two are only at 77. I'm going to want that engine at 80, so I'm not quite ready to change this up. And, okay, let's talk about Cape Town. Our assistant is Elaine Moeller. No, whichever. 37 laps, 2.3 miles, lap record's 112, only 10% chance of rain. Favors excellent acceleration, and that's gonna help us. So, you know, yeah, the brakes are not so much, but ultra soft and super soft tires. Okay. Alright, the engines are at 81%, so let's cut them out. And I'd prefer not to spend any more time working on the spoilers than I have to. The reason for that being that, you know, we're going to be upgrading those the soonest. But, I mean, at 70%, you know, that's too low. So, and this spoiler, 80%, that suspension, 80%, those are high enough for our immediate purposes. And there is our latest spoiler. And we've already upgraded to 337 from 282. That's a 50 plus points. That's significant, but now where the fun part begins. And I don't see us wanting, because we could, yeah, we could grab that one and that would be a fourth. That would make it even better. So if I did this one, and this one would speed it up, that's 3 out of 3. And then I could get into the add the random legendary component thing. Let's see what those are. So this is getting a little more complicated, but I think if I get these 3, then I can choose 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all really positive ones to add. So let me go ahead and do that. And yeah, no real change here. It was just a few hours. A couple sponsor offers. We'll take a look at those when the race arrives, of course. I love taking cars through the medium corners. It handles like a dream. It's fast too. We're ahead of most of the grid when it comes to our suspension. So Mia Holgerson happy with our suspension. And okay, we have a gearbox at over 90%, so we can go ahead and take that one out of the improvement queue. And yeah, in terms of the 90, 80%, we're good on all of these. So let me just move this on for another couple days. And there's our latest spoiler. So let's take a closer look at all that. Spending a whole bunch of money here. Whoop, not what I wanted to do. Let's wait and see if we get anything else. Yeah, we don't even know what the legendary components are. I mean, it's possible some of them are risk level ones. I'm going to pass on that. I think it's time to go here, 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 and here. All of those are going to be beneficial. Well, okay. None of these are... Boy. I mean, these are all really good. It really doesn't matter which one of these gets picked, it's going to be better. So to get there, I would need this and this. Maybe I want to go another round and do a 5-component one next time. One, two, three. And we'll just say 4 to be as cheap as possible. Because what I want to have is, like, ideally I want to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this one is 5. So 1, 2, 3. Nope. Because I think this is going to be the fastest, cheapest way to put 4 components on. So that's why I want to go with that. Okay. I'm going to do one more preparing spoiler. And then let's take another look here. Everybody's excited about the season opener, Hammer AMR, with Andrea Gabler and Lissandro Cruz. We remember them. They didn't have Cruz, but they had Gabler when we were there. New Wolfhagen boss Walter Hoffman will be out to impress the rest of the paddock. Any finish around 5th place would be seen as a hugely impressive result for the British team principal. I plan on finishing higher than 5th in the team comparison, that's for sure. Okay, improved parts. Now we're going to be really close here, but we're not going to make it like on the brakes. Yeah, not going to make that. There is our spoiler. Okay, so I think that we're ready to actually build the spoilers that we're going to use now. Probably not going to be ready to use till the 3rd day. I wasn't planning on taking as long with this, but it's how it worked out. So, random legendary component. And then yeah. Now you can see, like, this is going to already be at over 400. Not counting whatever it gets from here. I don't think that's counting these. But again, all these are super positive. 50, 90, or 65, plus the minus red zone. So that's all going to be excellent. And then we'll build another one like that. So yeah, by the 3rd race, we should have a hugely improved spoiler. Might even be able to get one of them. Let's see where we are on the calendar. Yeah, I doubt there's enough room, but might be able to get one of them ready by Rio. Okay, let's take one more look in here. Okay, these are at 92%. Let's knock those out. That's at 90%. Okay, the brakes are both up over 90. Okay, everything's at 80 or better. Okay, so now let's just put in the brakes and the gearboxes and just get those as high as we can because those are the crucial parts. Alright, we did hit our goal, just barely, but we hit it for the reliability boosts. So all of that is very nice. And now it's time to travel to Cape Town. Let's take a look at our sponsors. 8th or above or 9th or above. This is slightly better per race. 50k more per race for Gendarmol. But Wanshai Industries gives us the upfront payment, which more than makes up for that, plus it's a lower target. I think I definitely want to go with that. A little more breathing room in the budget. And I think we're going to be going with Wanshai Industries payment at first. And then, you know, what if we get really excited about ourselves and feel we are confident hitting second on both components, then we can upgrade to start using the Wonderlight. Okay, and what do we have here? We have 350k per race from Peach Plum. It's the only option. Alright, now that should take us close. Yeah, we're going to lose 82k a race, and with the sponsor bonuses, we're going to make money. So we're putting money in the bank every race. All the more reason, just keep spending the money on those parts and get the car improved. It's time to head off to Cape Town. And not super happy here. Bags thinks that he's being treated unfairly. Let's take a look at all of that. And it looks like on all the parts here, he's actually right. So let's switch out the suspension. There we go. Now he's happy. Yeah, now that's going to make everybody happy. Okay, so we are predicted to finish 5th and 6th here. Alright. Let's see how that goes for us. Now it's 28 degrees. And then 25 on race day. And all we have is Ultras and Supers. So these tires are going to get fried. That is a bad choice of tires. They're going to absolutely get fried using... It's going to end up being Super Softs at that kind of temperature. So here we are with our unimpressive feedback and medium strategy. Let's take a look at that. Now I'm going to use the normal numbers here. And that means that, yeah, I can tick this down 1. And that's it. And I can't tick this one down at all. So can't really afford any weight stripping until we max out the reliability. Ah, yes, we've got the ballast shift here. Got to get used to all the differences in these cars. Let's try something like that. Sure, you go ahead and... I mean, we're going to definitely want to spend more time on the supers, I think, or the regular softs. And given the shorter practice, I want to start by just hitting that hard with both drivers. There we go. And I'm also going to want to definitely do what we did the last time we did 3-stage qualifying. You know what? Do qualifying 1 lap for you, which is basically treating the first qualifying session as sort of practice part 2. Because, you know, I'm not going to want to spend a huge amount of time optimizing the setup here. I'm mostly just going to want to get the excuse me, get as much of the trim bonuses as we can get. Right now we're working on the super softs. We're not going to go very far into the qualifying before I switch because I want to focus on the race trim. Even with the bonus for setting on the pole, I still think focusing on the race trim is what we need to do. We should be able to finish top 9 in qualifying, which is our goal to hit the sponsor bonus. So we like the handling and the weight distribution early on. We're definitely off the early pace. There, Roberts coming in. Under 112. They were pretty close to the trap record was 112. I think we'll be breaking that. But nothing, yeah, nothing but positive comments on the setup. And we can see with the temperature, we're gonna have to back off pretty soon already. Now it is warmer today than it'll be in the race, but not that much warmer. Holgerson comes in. Let's go ahead and back off to conserve. Okay, we're happy with the cornering. 79% overall. The handling could use a change, and the speed is definitely not right. They did say this was a more acceleration-focused track in the briefing, so nope, not that. So let's just try about there. Something like that. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, and you know what? I want you to switch over to the race trim. So currently 8th and 14th, definitely not winning any awards with our practice times. But it looks like the majority of the cars ahead of us are on ultras. Okay, you want more acceleration. Let's go ahead and come in and do that. %. And we're looking good on everything else. Yeah, let's just try that. And then for the rest of the way, I'd like to pretty much just run out my laps and get the trim. Make whatever other adjustments we need to make in the first qualifying session. Level 1 race trim. And it looks like yeah, it's going to be all we can do to get to level 3 race trim, from what I can see. Really hoping we make it. Probably will if we just stay out there. Yeah, I am a little bit concerned though at the fact that we just don't seem to be very competitive here. But it is early. Handling feels a bit worse now. Well, we'll deal with that another time. Ah, there's Maxime Laurie. Who's he driving for these days? Driving for Spartan MRT. Holgerson happy with the speed balance. And yet rolling in at 16th. Gonna have to back off our tires now because they're heating up. Bag's all the way up to 3rd with that last lap. Now that's better because he's running solid. Holgerson just miserable day for her. But she also is up to 5th. Okay, so that's much more respectable times. Almost there on the super softs. Not quite on the race trim, but I think once we hit the super softs, we have enough to come in and change to the different tires. Let's have both of them come in. Boy, 2.5. I don't know that I've ever seen it that low before. Holgerson just stinking it up. One of them on race trim here should be able to finish it up. The other one switching to qualifying. %. And yeah, we just want the handling adjustment. Should be about right there. Switch to ultras. And we're close here as well. Switch to qualifying, switch to ultras. That was good. And this is great. I think I'm going to want to go just a bit. Let's just try that. I don't think we're going to get any ultras bonus, but whatever. We're going to hit the super soft and the race trim, which is the strategy that we're going with. Everything else is really gravy here. And this is a shorter track. I mean, on some of the longer tracks, just hitting the level 3 for our tires of choice and the level 3 for the race trim could be a challenge. Bad first sector there for Bags, despite... Yeah, they're just not driving worth a darn today. Bags is below average, and Holgerson just abysmal. The tire trim actually going up faster, but it looks like we may not make either one. So it looks like we've got our setup ready. We've done we had the one good set of laps, but most of our laps were pretty bad. Either way, that should mollify the fans, 4th and 7th. And nobody else has 2 drivers ahead of us. You can see they're spread out pretty good. Edwards really struggled, they say. Good tips for Stefansson. And let's move on to the first qualifying round. The only thing that we can pick are the super softs, which we won't be using. %99% for Holgerson, so we're just gonna hold right on to that. 98% here, and yep, the handling's a little bit off the grid. Let's try that. Now the other thing is, yeah, definitely go with the used tires. Get Bags out there first. This is the one we're not totally sure on the setup with. I probably could have stood to do a little bit fewer adjustments in practice. But honestly, what would that have gotten me? Like a 5% bonus for qualifying? Oh, you're waiting a little bit too long. Go and get out there. So I'm hoping just to do this one run and call it a day. I would really think we should be able to do that to get in the top 15, but we'll have to see how the times come in. Bags way off the pace of Blasi. But what we're mainly going to be concerned with is not being eliminated here. I don't care if we're close to the top. So Bags pretty happy. Even though nobody else has been that slow yet. Now Lori is. Now we're starting to get some slower ones. I mean, Edwards in particular. We're just going to sit in here and see what happens. Okay, yeah. We're barely making it at the moment. That's not going to be good enough. I mean, barely ahead of Sevilla. I'm going to need to make another run with both drivers on good tires. Want to wait for the grip to go up before we try to do that. We will. Just going to wait a bit first. I'll send out Holgerson as her first time was slightly faster. I'll send her out first. At least she's up to a 5.9, where Bag's not breaking any records. I think that's close enough. Let's make sure we are able to complete it. Might be getting a little close here on time with Bags. Get out there. Get out there and get this done. Yeah. Right in a bunch of traffic. How lovely. I gotta get around the track in time. And it's gonna be really close for him. I don't know if he's gonna make it. Okay. 13, 14 seconds to go, but he does make it. And right now, we are... Yeah, everybody behind us has come in. And Holgerson doing well enough to move up a couple positions. Bags needs to... Oh, wow. Bags having a great lap. And he needs it, because right now he's 16th, and he's got to improve that time. Look at that on the pole. Oh, man. That doesn't count as the pole, of course, because we've got 2 more rounds to go. But wow. Wasn't expecting that. So, Orage Spartan seeing drivers eliminated at the first hurdle And Holgerson just making it in 14th, but she does make it. On to session 2. Let's check on our weather. It is a little bit cooler today. We should have some very nice grip as it's all dry and everything. And we only are going to need one set of ultras for the race. So, you honestly think I just want to wait. Let's wait a couple minutes, let other drivers get out there. We've got 4 sets of ultras left. We're going to start on one of the ones that we used today. So I think, 2 today, 2 tomorrow. Holgerson at 2.7, Bags at 4.9. Good grief, people, get it together. I think I just want to wait and go out at about 8 minutes. Just to get a little bit better time. And obviously we have to use fresh tires for every run that we do. She's going up and he isn't. So I'm going to send Bags out first. But, whatever tire we set the best time with today, if we finish in the top 10, that's going to be the one we use to start the race. So, absolutely vital that we use fresh ones. And here goes Bags. And Holgerson will join the party. Blasi's time very similar to that which won the qualifying the first time out by Will Bags. As the grip continues to improve, that's not really going to be a big surprise. Bags well off that pace here. Coming in 8th. Not happy with his effort, which he shouldn't be. That was just a bad lap. And Holgerson doing much better, coming in 3rd. With no qualifying or tire bonus, I'm starting to feel a little better about how we're doing here, because once we get into the race, we're going to have our race trim, we're going to have our super soft bonus after that first stint. Let's see, 4:03. And we cut it a little bit close before. So I want to start more at like maybe 2:25 this time, but still doing fine. And as of right now, both drivers would make it. Having them both in the top half of the field would be what I want to see. Definitely want to give Bags the best chance to improve his time, so Holgerson will go out next. Bags now slipping to 10th, the final position, so he is on the bubble. That we will. Just give us a moment to get Holgerson out there. And Bags now can go give it a shot. Almost blew the tire temps there, but not a great start for Holgerson. And then there we go. Bags is now down to 11th, so he does need to improve his time if he's going to make it to the final day. Not by much, just by a hair. Boy, Holgerson taking her turn to stink up the track. Yeah, much worse than the first time. Bags, not a little off the pace, but he is doing much better than he did the first time around. So each driver turning in one decent lap and one utter crap lap. He's not happy with it. But honestly, you know, if we start 3rd and 5th, I'm not going to be crying. Two drivers in the top 5. Nobody else doing that. Atsuno 1st and 10th. And Hammer 8th and 9th. And they're the only teams that even have 2 drivers left remaining. So, I mean, right now, we look like the strongest team, which would be great. And that's, again, with no bonuses. I'm feeling very confident about our chances to start this season well. And now let's see who is going to be on the pole. Who's going to get those 2 bonus points, which will give them the immediate early lead. Okay, let's... You know what? I'm going to wait even longer than I did last time. I'm going to wait down to about 7:15. Because we still have plenty of time in the pits in between runs. I'm only going to take 2 shots at this. I only have 2 shots of fresh tires left. It's dry again. It's hot. Just let that grip build up. And boy, just the driver form is killing us right now. It's almost like, you know, we're having a pretty good qualifying session here despite ourselves. You will. I mean, and to be fair, Bags hasn't been terrible. Bags has just been a little bit off. Both drivers have been inconsistent, but Bags has just been a little bit off. Mia Holgerson is an embarrassment to her abilities. All right, Now let's get rolling. Now that one is locked for the race start. And Bags now seeing his form start to go down, although Holgerson's is rising. It's all relative. But 3.3 is better than 2.5. Alright, now your turn to get out there. Ooh, almost blew it again with Bags, just barely made it. He's up to 5.1. Up to the acceptable range. Holgerson again rising up to 4.2. 4.3, so yeah, maybe she'll be half decent by the time she gets around to racing. And Bags ahead of the pace after his first set. Not the fastest first sector. Okay, now he's slowed off. And not happy with fourth place. Holgerson a little slower. And yeah, okay, Holgerson's stinking it up. That's what we've got going on here. Up to 4.6, but she's still stinking it up. A good final session there, a good final finish, gets her to 6th. 4th and 6th. Let's see if we can move up a bit from that. But it's about where we were before. It's looking like Tanaka and Blasi, other than that one lap that Bags turned in right at the end of the first qualifying. But other than that, Tanaka and Blasi, the class of the field here. For the grip that was on the track, I actually think that lap Bags did was the best one that's been seen. And it's our final chance to see what we can do here with almost perfect track conditions now. Nearly a full rubber in place. Holgerson actually looking pretty strong. All the way up to 6.1 now. He's just starting every day in the crapper and then getting faster. Holding at 6.1 though, not going up any further. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow the heck down, Will. Okay, everybody ready to roll, and Will Bags off to a pretty poor start. And not improving on it. So I don't see him at 5th and 7th, and I don't think he's gonna do any better than that. Look at Gabler going low. Yeah. And Bags almost 6/10 lower than his first time. But yeah, Andrea Gabler just blowing away all previous marks. Holgerson looking possibly to improve if she finishes well. Nope. It was better, but just slightly better. And so Gabler, the easy pole sitter for Hammer AMR. It's hard for me to get too upset about that. So we will start 5th and 7th. I think we're going to be competitive in this race. I don't know if we've got enough to win it, but we definitely should be competitive. Wolfhagen did okay, says one of our fans. Holgerson disappointed by qualifying. And Jovan Barletto says we need a better driver unless we want to come last all season. No. That's not going to happen. Okay. Super softs and race trim. The only options. Okay, so 18 to 20 laps, what we think we can get out of these. It's more likely that it's going to be, 14, 15 maybe. And since we're going to start with a full battery charge, we don't need very much fuel. I'm going to go with 7 laps to start, and I don't think that we're going to need quite that many. But that's what I'm going to start with. I want to be a little conservative with it. But that's the basic idea here. Is just, start really light. Use that hybrid mode really as soon as we can. And let's ride along with bags. Does it let us use it right away? Huh. It doesn't let you use the speed, the power boost right away, but you can go hybrid right away. Okay. Well, let's do it. So we fade at the beginning to 7th and 9th. Not real impressed with that. Of course, our real strength in the race is probably going to come later once we switch to super soft. Let's see how we do here. Look at Bags aggressively trying to move up through the field. And Cruz holding him off, at least for a moment, with that speed burst. Yeah, would have made that pass otherwise. Whoa, hold on. Like a fat guy goes through hot dogs. Gotta go conserve. Dang, I didn't think they were going to be up that high. So, lesson learned. And we're in 8th and 11th. And we're already into lap 3. The laps are going by so much faster. Let's go back down to medium. And we're just going to have to settle in here basically in the middle of the pack. And look at all the drivers going hybrid earlier. It's not just us. It actually is a good sign for the AI here. And a better one than I expected. Yeah, we're gonna fry the tires. Look at the other. Our tires are actually more used up than the others, so we're not gonna get much out of this. But let's go ahead and harvest. We're back in the middle of the pack, so we're going to have a decent, boy, 11th and 13th, yeah. We're going to have a decent amount of savings here. And I just want to use up the fuel. I mean, I think I started with too much fuel. Started with too much fuel, didn't back off the tire temperatures soon enough. Probably should have just gone with push for a little bit longer period. And so yeah, not a perfect start for us. Let's see what we can make out of it. Literally exactly in the middle now at 10th and 11th. Both drivers doing very average for their abilities at the moment. Okay, let's go up to neutral on the tires for a while and see if we can't gain some position. Bags trying to make the pass here on Kaluza. So far, not getting it done. There's Holgerson. Now our leader up to 10th. We are right in a big group of, you see, Trenoweth down to Parisi. 6 cars within just over, less than a second and a half. Take this down to about a lap and a half, and then we'll see what happens. And Holgerson gets to 9th. Now Bags coming through. So we pass up Trenoweth. There we go. And now we'll go hybrid for however much longer these ultras last. And it looks like Bags is burning through his a little bit faster. I think perhaps our fuel now becoming a factor, because Holgerson is now at the front of this pack, and quite a distance now up to the next cars. We're going to have to conserve again. Bags getting through up to 8th as well, so we had just enough to get to the front of the pack. Question is, can we stay there, especially with Bags? Definitely going to want him to be the first that pits, given the tire wear situation. It's probably a good time to start tracking that. We see he's down to 3.8, Holgerson at 4.7, so part of the problem here is we're just not driving worth a darn. And it looks like Holgerson, even though up here, is fading compared to the faster drivers. Now notice we're not getting any points yet, because we're not in the top 6. Let's run a lap on neutral and see where that ends up. We're at 44 and 41 now. couple cars going into the pits. Looks like they did, like they were burning their tires more than us after the early part. Our tires actually lasting a bit longer, which is interesting. And you can see those cars, some of them coming back on Ultras, and one of them even coming back on worn Ultras, presumably from qualifying. We are going to be switching on to fresh Super Softs, which, okay, they're slower, but we do have a solid position there in terms of having the bonus with them. So I'm thinking we're going to be stronger longer term in this race. We're up to 5th and 6th at the moment, although it's really not fair to look at that until we, until we pit. I didn't really properly check the fuel or the tire usage. Go a little bit longer on this. Fourth and 5th as more drivers come in. Okay, we've got to back off to conserve here. I think one more lap for Bags, and then I'll send Bags in and have Gabler come in the one after. Yeah, definitely don't want to go any longer than that. Bags, you come in for fresh tires. Now the question is fuel. Because, these are going to be plenty long to finish the rest in 2. 44 laps remaining, so we're going to want to do 22 laps. And right now our battery is at 52%. I'm thinking 15 laps of fuel. 16. I'll go with 16. Might not need that many, but we'll see. Shouldn't need that many actually. I'm gonna drop that down. I think that's a little bit high too, but I've got to get reused to this. In any case, we're not doing too badly now. We'll see where we come out after we pit. And the thing is, after we pit, we're also going to have switch Holgerson up to neutral for the rest of her run. After we pit, we're also going to be presumably further back in the pack, and therefore harvesting is a good thing to do coming out, because we're going to have more efficiency with it. And of course, we're back to the longer pit stops that come with refueling. Let's not forget to pit here. Go with the same amount. And Bags comes out in last, so he's going to harvest like crazy. And goes into the red condition on the tires just as she enters the pits. Yeah, I think we're definitely probably overdoing it here on the fuel, but let's just see how this works out. Synchronizing up the cars with going hybrid and not. Oh, it comes out in 17th. Just had a Bags who's 18th because we've got some more, so with all the changes, dynamic changes in our harvest efficiency, I'm really just going to have to manage each car separately. And we need to get by Parisi, because once we do so, there's a few seconds of open track. And almost half the cars have not stopped yet. Sandro Cruz getting by Bags. Bags has plenty of distance behind him, so I just want to go and conserve on the tires because the temperature is rising. Holgerson, though, I think I want to push with her and try to get by. We don't have a lot of tire temp left to do this with, but I want to try to get by Parisi. Come on. Come on. Here it is. I hope. Yep, inside line. Go to medium. And let's move up to neutral, see if we can get by any of this traffic, Bags. Meanwhile, I've got to go conserve with Holgerson. Top 6 drivers right now have not come in yet. Looks like we are gaining on Blasi gradually. Maybe. I mean, Holgerson at 3.2, Bags at 3.9. We are just driving horribly today. And Bags needs to go hybrid here for a while. Kaluza into the pits, and we will move up. Holgerson doing a good job holding on to position, pulling away, catching up. So, I mean, feel like we're strong there. Bags is moving up a little bit. He's gotten by Capello and is trying to put the pressure on now Parisi. On the wrong side there, though, he's going to fall back to 19th. So that could have gone better. I'm going to push with him for a bit and see, because I'd really like to get him ahead of this group, and I think I should be able to. And almost time to go neutral again with Holgerson. Well, I thought it was, but not really. Like, I'd like to get a little bit closer. So there's Bags really working up here now. Come on, one more spot. One more spot. No, don't fall behind one more spot. There you go. Good line there. Being on the inside against, looks like, yeah, it's Capello. Up, but couldn't make it stick. I'm going to have to shift the tires down soon. Come on. Switch to Harvest. Switch to Hybrid on Holgerson. Well, it was fun while it lasted. I've got to cool off tires. So Bag's just kind of stuck in the middle of all that. Let's go neutral, Holgerson. And here comes more cars into the pit, or at least one. Roberts going in. We're now up to 10th and 12th. 3 more going to pit. Assuming that we would pass them, that would put us back up to 7th and 8th. And then, you know, presumably these other cars are going to pit more than we do as well. We've got about 10 laps to go. We're going to be fine there. Yeah, I just got too much fuel. I've got too much fuel by quite a bit, but if I end up higher in the field, then which I might have been if I took on less fuel, it'd be less time in the pits, I'd be coming faster coming out, then I wouldn't have had as much harvesting here. So I would have needed more fuel. So it's going to be a real touchy decision making that happen. Let's switch back up to neutral now with Bags. You've cooled off quite a bit here, and you're in the middle of a fight. Let's win that fight. And we'll go back to Harvest with Holgerson. Okay, Bags now in 10th. Holgerson in 8th. No, we cannot. And now we're 7th and 9th. One more gonna pit, so that'd be 6th and 8th. I think we're gonna gradually move up. You know, maybe do like a 4th and 5th finish by the end of this, as we're halfway through the race. But right now it still have 0 points. But I think we're gonna get in the points by the end of it, and probably not be the winning team, but you know, get on the board and not be too terribly far behind. That's what it's feeling like here. The other thing is our last pit stop is going to be shorter because we have, you know, we'll need less fuel, although again, we're going to have to be careful with exactly how much. Boy, that's just going to make the pit stops decisions so touchy. Go more hybrid with Bags. And we're going to back off on the tires there. Well, I want to push it all and get by here. And I don't think I do because I'm just not... Well... You know what? Let's try it. Let's go high. Condition is great for this point in the race. I think maybe we are going to be able to do more weight stripping than we have on the longer races. the past, so I may be able to be more aggressive with that. I'll see what happens at the end of the race here. See if we can make this stick. Nope. We're right behind. 5th, but Holgerson very close to becoming 3rd. Though tire temp's starting to be an issue again. Looks like we've got 4th now. Fourth and 6th has bagged some distance behind. Yeah, we're going to have to back off on the tires. Again, 4-1 and 4-9. Boy, am I going to make this pass anyway? Almost did. Up into 3rd, and now it's going to happen anyway because of the pit stop. That's going to happen here with Blasi. Let's definitely go hybrid there. Probably waited a bit long to go hybrid with Holgerson, but now she's running really light on fuel. Well, we only got a couple laps to go. So yeah, let's go neutral there with bags. And he's got a little bit more time. Before he needs to go hybrid, that is. So Holgerson a distant 3rd, but we are in 3rd, and we at this point would be 3rd in the team standings. And only 4 points behind Spartan, 3 behind Hammer AMR. So and it's time for bags to come in. Okay, so he's going to have a lot of battery left. 22 more laps. But we're going to be further up in the field this time. I did 14 before. I'm going to go with 10 this time, which still might be more than we need, but can always go aggressive at the end. Fresh tires. And now Holgerson will come in. She's going to need a little bit more fuel. Let's go up to 11 there. Fresh tires. And onward we go. Let's see how that works out for us. And yeah, I'm falling back further in the field than I thought, so I'm probably going to end up with too much fuel again. But I'm right behind some cars here. Let's just switch right into aggressive mode. I don't know why I'm still going that hard with Holgerson here. Oh, let's not let that happen. See if we can make the pass. Who is that? Kaluza. We've got fresher tires. Should be able to make this happen by pushing. There it is. Okay, 12th. I'll make that 11th, 10th, excuse me, as people pit 10th and 13th now. Most of the other cars will have to pit again. We will not. Let's go hybrid. Really like to see Bags make this pass before I turn down the tire situation. Capello is on Ultras, but they're really worn out Ultras. Doesn't look like it's going to happen though. Okay, let's downshift here. Medium and conserve. 9th and 12th. Going to be seeing Cruz come in soon. And Capello will have to. So that would put us up to 8th and 10th. And Holgerson's going to have to back off soon anyway. Let's just go conserve. Kaluza behind, but even if Kaluza passes us, we're going to be looking at, like, you know, pitting soon. So, and Holgerson, would you, goodness, you suck this weekend. Why can't you drive any better? So we're in the middle and going to be having roughly average harvesting rates. Of course, the main thing I want to do now, as is usual at this point, is just work down the fuel. Work down the fuel so that we're faster. We're in the 50s and then 60s here on condition. Oh goodness, Kaluza, really? You're going to do that? And it looks like it's not going to quite be enough. Beautiful, but another pit stop now. We are 8th and 10th. And yeah, Kaluza's going to have to come in, so that'll make us 8th and 9th. Still not in the points yet. We are gradually catching Hume. So I think I just want to conserve and save as much of those tires for when we do. There's a nice 4.5 second gap from Hume up to Laurie. So I want to be able to take advantage of that as soon as possible. Let's go harvest again with Bags. Really got to keep my eye on everything that's going on here. Less than 2 seconds now up to Hume. Bags about 3.5 seconds further back, so he can just chill out for a while longer. He's trying to hold off Blasi and whatnot behind him. So you know what, let's just go, let's go neutral for a bit and make sure we hang on to that. He's got plenty of tire temp. And Holgerson's slipping a bit behind Hume now at the moment. Hume now just about out of battery power though, riding hard. I think what we want to do here is just sort of wait for Hume to pit, because that's going to happen soon. We're just going to pick up that spot, and that would get us almost into the points with Holgerson. Yep, there's Hume saying it's time to go in. Bags has pulled out a bit. Let's go ahead and drop back on him as well. I'm going to make the pass before, just as, whatever. Holgerson's driving, improving, and now we've got this big gap. 8 seconds. I'm going to boost up to neutral here anyway. Now it's just a matter of who has to come in. I've got to think Rodriguez is going to have to come in, and Roberts and Sevilla. I mean, we're going to finish behind Gabler. I mean, Lorian. My goodness, we could finish as high as second here because I think Gabler stays out. I don't know that anybody else can in terms of tire wear. We'll see. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic. Got 4 laps of fuel left. It's not piling up. Go neutral there. So Bag's having no trouble holding off the cars behind him. Go harvest here for a bit more, I think. And yeah, Bags, I think, is going to have just enough fuel here. Holgerson, maybe a little extra. I think we're in the right range on the fuel, though. Because we're going to need to go hybrid now pretty much the rest of the way. Yeah, let's go ahead and turn on hybrid now with Bags. And he may not even have quite enough. Holgerson a little more, but also not as much energy, and we're not saving much either at this point, being in 6th and 7th. So we're really going to need to watch that energy because we might have to go to low fuel mode at the end of the race. Yeah, 81%. I'm not getting much. So I'm going to want to ride this down. Probably just a little bit over a lap. Take it down to 1.1 1.25 maybe? Okay. Then we'll go hybrid. Yeah, we're going to want to watch the fuel levels for both drivers for sure. Now here comes Rodriguez into the pit. Holgerson up to 5th, Bags up to 6th. Now, I think we're going to have just enough to finish the race. We actually might have maybe wanted to get a little bit more fuel. At the moment, we would tie with Orange for 3rd, well behind Spartan and Hammer. but there are going to be more drivers coming in. Just a little overlap of fuel for both. We're going to run hybrid most of the rest of the way, if not all of it. But once we get to those final few laps, I'm really going to want to take a close look at that. There's Sevilla into the pits. 4th and 5th. That'll move us up to 3rd overall. But I think we're going to do better than that. Alright, let's back off on your tires some, Holgerson. And bags while we're at it. I want to be able to go to neutral if I want to try to make any passes. I don't think I'm going to need to. I think Dutt goes in before I can catch. Dutt and Laurie are going to have to go in. Gabler's the only question. Can Gabler stay out long enough? And I think Gabler does. I think Gabler stays out and wins this race. Go ahead and go neutral to make this blue flag pass. Laurie and Dutt both pitting now. Four laps left. I think we're going to have enough energy. Yeah, the hybrid energy not going down very fast. Three laps to go now. And that's pretty much it. The question is Gabler. 20% tires. She's got injured. She's driving fantastic, but she's injured. She's got mechanical issues. Driving on, old tires, and we're catching up, but 10-second gap is not going to be made up in this amount of time. So assuming Gabler thinks she can stay out and just barely finish this. Boy, Laurie really putting on a show, catching and passing bags. Looked to me just a bit ago like that lead was safe. But nothing bags can really do at this point. We're actually driving decent here at the end of this race. Goodness gracious, get by. So second and fourth would put us second behind Hammer. Gabler winning. So that takes care of that. Holgerson second. Bags fourth. Laurie in third. Very, very solid debut for Wolfhagen. We finished second in the team standings after being picked. You know, anything fifth or better would have been excellent. So, very happy with it. It's going to be a nerve-wracking year trying to get the right amount of fuel in the pit stops. Be aggressive enough and not so aggressive. And based on where we come out, what our harvesting efficiency is, there's just going to be such a swing, such leeway, such a large margin for that. Going back and forth, that not really going to be able to be super optimal with it. Okay, so Stephenson with the fastest lap for Oberhof. Pole position and the win for Andrea Gabler. Well, we definitely know who the driver is to beat this year. We had her before, and now we've got to try to chase her down. But yeah, second and fourth. And a solid second place. Spartan, the only other team with any significant points. So it looks like Hammer, Spartan, and Wolfhagen, the top three this year. And we'll have to see who comes out the better. Wolfhagen did okay. Oh, there we go. That was qualifying. Ray Roberts says, be up there with you soon. Don't forget about Wolfhagen Racing. They look strong. Contenders. Hashtag contenders. So, the Evening Herald noting our strong showing. We were expected third, and we came in second. So the chairman had better expectations than the media, but we still exceeded his. A tiny bump in our marketing. His happiness is up to the top. And yeah, 4.7 and a 4.5 overall in our form. Not pleased with that. You can see that Bag's skills are deteriorating, and not slowly. So, Holgerson's getting better, but not that quickly. We did boost the morale of both drivers. We boosted our mechanic relationships. Bags could lose some abilities. I mean, the way this is at this kind of speed, he's going to lose some abilities as the year goes on. So you can see he's already down to 3.5 stars. So that's going to be interesting as well, because it looks like definitely Holgerson is going to be our star of the two. Bags is going to really fade with the way these numbers are, which makes sense for a 39-year-old. It's, you know, they don't allow you to have great racers into their 40s. And so we're going to really need to be improving our vehicles to keep Bags competitive. And there's a solid profit, just to alleviate some of the expenses from our part development. So race 1 of Surging Absurdity is in the books. We trail Hammer ahead of Spartan. A solid start, but there is a lot of work to do, and the future is unclear for Wolfhagen Racing. We could very well end up in a dogfight. We've got money, Bags declining. There's a lot of positive and negatives going on. So far, I think this is a really interesting challenge, an interesting setup. Even though it's gimmicky, like the balance of the teams and the things I've got to work on within the team, the part development, all of that. Quite interesting so far. Be back soon with more of Motorsport Manager. Until then, thanks for watching.